What's up, world? It's your boy Jerron Eichner back again for another video for Starstruck TV. And this time we're doing another reaction video. This reaction video is a little special though because the artists or artists that we're covering in this particular episode are from Tucson, Arizona. And if you know me, I'm actually from Tucson. I was raised in Tucson, Arizona, and I've always had a special place in my heart for that city, particularly the artistic community. And I tell people this all the time in terms of the fact that Tucson, I believe, actually has more artistic culture packed per capita per square mile than other larger metropolis areas. There's so much dope culture and so much dope art packed into like a really small package down there. So I always get excited when I get a chance to check out new music and new artists from Tucson, or just old artists who have been around for a while who are continuing to put out content. So this project in particular is no exception to those rules. Shout out to HMR. So he has a record label now called Top Shelf Music, and he's put together a project called King Ghidorah Volume 1. And I must say, before we get too deep into this, that I am thoroughly impressed. This is why I get excited when I listen to artists in Tucson, because it's really about listening to the growth and the progress and hearing how artists are evolving, hearing how their sound becomes more refined, and hearing how they get better at telling their story and how they want to present themselves. And even though this project, King Ghidorah Volume 1, is a short project, I think it does actually a very good job of representing a sound that Top Shelf Music and HMR are trying to put out there. So there are 5 tracks on this album: Be Free, Lost in Translation, Let Them Know, FIU, and Power. And basically, as I said earlier, I said artists, even though HMR was the one who reached out to me and it's under his name on all the links, which I'll post below. It basically is set up as a introduction to his label Top Shelf Music and some of the artists that he has on there, which include Cordero Banks, Gangs, Keys, Trip Tarantino's, a bunch of people on this project. So when I dove into it, I actually really didn't know what to expect, because he didn't tell me, he didn't give me any type of like setup for this. He just sent over the links and had check this out. And so I was basically expecting like a solo EP basically from HMR. I was like, bet he's coming back out in the music. But as I started to listen to this, I was like, wait, there's like multiple people on here. Oh, this guy's snapping. Oh, this guy's dope. Oh, what's going on here? So I actually like looked at the track list and I'm like, oh, there's features on every single track. And then I actually looked at the title of the project and it said Top Shelf Music Presents King Ghidorah. And I'm like, oh, he's doing the record label sampler thing on this. This is smooth. And so he has production on here from Epic the Don, who is, actually one of those producers that I really, really admire. He's been on a couple of my previous albums. I haven't worked with him in a while, but I've used his production on several of my older projects. And he has such a refined, clean, mainstream production sound. So even before I dove into the album, I asked HMR, I was like, hey, who's doing the production on this? He said Epic the Don. I'm like, oh, this is going to be snapping. Because I've always been a big fan of Epic the Don beats. He always has, like I said, a really great refined sound. He always kind of has a sound that's like, if you want that mainstream, great sounding, just dope hip hop beats, Epic the Don is your guy. And also Skate. Now, I don't know who Skate is. He doesn't get the cool preamble like Epic the Don. But there's a lot of heavy lifting done by HMR's team on this album, in the sense that there's a lot of good rapping on here. Really well diverse project, ranging from like kind of introspective to straight up turn up songs to like straight up rap shit. And I think that they do a really good job of kind of presenting that range. So for example, I'm going to try and play a track. And when it comes to playing these tracks, quick warning, it might not sound great because we usually have a voice filter on, which I'm going to turn off real quick and see if we can get this to play. So one of the tracks right here is FIU, which stands for Fuck It Up. And I think the first time I heard it, I was like, cool. But then the more I listened to it, I'm like, they're actually kind of snapping on this. So I'm actually going to play a quick preview of this and see if you guys can kind of get the vibe of what I'm talking about here. Cool. That's all I'm gonna actually play because I'm not trying to get copywritten struck. Actually, that might have been too long, but that song kind of gives you an idea of like the high energy side of the project, and I enjoy that song. That's actually a song that I would probably like add to my playlist on a daily basis and listen to while I'm driving to work or driving to wherever, because it has some really good energy to it. And I don't know who made that beat. I'm not sure if that's an Epic the Dawn beat or a skate beat, but regardless, that track is fire. I really enjoy that song. Cordero, I'm not sure who's who on the tracks, but whoever has the deeper voice, let me actually see if I can play it real quick. This guy. Yeah, that part snapping. Like the voice, really good recording. I don't know who did the engineering on it, but it's solid work. It's just a good song. And I think that's part of it when it comes to making music nowadays, is that a lot of artists feel like they're pressured to make certain type of music. And to be quite transparent, I don't think that this EP avoids that. Like, it's not trying to reinvent the wheel, mostly because it acts as a platform for these artists. So it's kind of like showing off what they're capable of. And it does pique my interest. Like I would actually go check out some of these artists again, or go check out their solo projects based off of what's done on this project. Another track on here, this is the opening track. And I almost guarantee this is an Epic the Dawn beat just because of the quality of it and like how it sounds. But this is Be Free. And I'm just gonna... There's a lot on my mind right now. I find no light to stay for me.
Had to take a deep dive into my soul to let them all know that even when the world turns cold, you can't let go. You gotta keep moving, keep pursuing what you doing.
Yeah, so like I said, I don't want to play the whole song because I'm not trying to get content ID copywritten, but the production is solid, and I think that's always the foundation of a good especially a sampler project, is to have really good wide range of sound on your project. So it lets your audience know, or potential fans know, like, this is what we're capable of. That's how you kind of have to approach a sampler. Like, you could just go with one particular sound, but then you're kind of like pigeonholing yourself. And so with that in mind, like, I think that this project does a good job of showcasing the range. But to be said, if we're talking about some of like the cons of this project, I think that they could have benefited from a vocalist, like someone who could sing, maybe even a male, because I think right now there's kind of like a lack of male R&B-ish type singers. We have rapper singers who use auto-tune and do I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like pure, authentic, hardcore R&B singers, where there's an extreme lack of them, especially in Arizona in the male department. And I think that if they could find one, it would help enhance their sound immensely, because their sound is coming from a more soulful perspective. Yeah, I did play, F It Up, and the other track kind of had a higher energy kind of beat to it, but it comes from a soulful place. Like, I'm going to play a quick snippet of this track, Power, which features Trip Tarantino, Tommy Will, and Cordero Eubanks.
To me different, you see my inbox, that's a common thing, and bitches mad. Jealousy is ugly, you a solid 3. Head inside the clouds, I've been that way since before I started school.
So that was Tommy Will on the track Power. And as you can tell, just off that little snippet that I played for you guys, is that this album has a lot of soul in it. There's a lot of soul, there's a lot of feeling, there's a lot of life in this project, which is always good, because I think one thing I find extremely disheartening nowadays is that there seems to be a lack of soul. Like, people kind of have figured out the template of how to make a good hip hop song. And everybody's capable of making a good hip hop song nowadays, just because you have, access to good samples and access to good drums, and, you could use AI or whatever, or find some YouTube tutorials to put together a good mix. So like, the bar to create a solid hip hop song is actually kind of low nowadays. So where you separate yourself comes down to how much soul and emotion you can actually inject into the song to make people believe you. And I think that they do a good job on this project. Like I said before, I think it's something that I find myself interested in trying to find out more about these artists. I am excited to see what comes from HMR and from Top Shelf Music in the future. So please keep sending me music. But like I said, on the con side, it's a little short. It does show range, but it also kind of, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. Like, so you have the track F It Up, which is the only high energy song, but it almost kind of feels like they had to put this high energy song on here because they wanted to show that. I'm not saying that it's bad, but it's like, that it's a great song, first of all. I said that I was going to go ahead and put it on my playlist and listen to it. But it's also kind of like, well, what else can you guys do? Right? Which is the point of the sampler. It works as a good teaser. And this is only volume 1. And when you call your project volume 1, I expect the volume 2. So I'll be looking forward to volume 2 here soon. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and leave a link to HMR Top Shelf Music Presents King Ghidorah volume 2. I'll give you the link that he sent me below. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me what song you like the most. Tell me what song you don't like the most. And we'll talk about it. But all in all, I'm not mad at this. Like I said before when I started this video, is that like I always get excited when I hear artists from Tucson. This got me super excited because this is a whole label, a whole team coming from Tucson, and it's solid work. It's solid work. It's not like mind-blowing work. Like I'm not over here like, oh my God. But it's something where I'm like, yes, this is like a solid like 8 out of 10 project that works well to like kind of really introduce people and kind of get their ears kind of tingling and their spider senses tingling over the music. And like I said, I want to hear volume 2. I want to hear more from Cordero. I want to hear more from these artists. And there's a little bit of bias there. And maybe that's why they reached out to me. Because like I said, I'm from Tucson. And I'm going to always ride for my Tucson artists. So I'm very much excited about this project and what the future holds for Top Shelf Music. So let's see what you guys got. I'll be waiting. Anyways, if you guys want to get your video or music, whatever, actually do more than just music. I'll review whatever you guys send me. Send it over to connect@starstruckmultimedia.com and I'll check it out. We can chop it up and see what we can do to make that work. Make sure you guys are liking and follow these videos so I can keep doing them. And that's it. I got this crazy sun glare going on in the back. If it distracted y'all, I'm sorry. I'm doing this in the afternoon. But one love. I hope you guys are safe. Take care. Peace.